Welcome back. We have some very sad breaking entertainment news to share with you. TMZ is reporting that Malcolm-Jamal Warner, probably best known for his role on The Cosby Show, has died. People report that the 54-year-old was in Costa Rica on a family vacation and accidentally drowned while swimming.
Death of actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Breaking entertainment news, Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, dead at the age of 54 on a drag.
The shocking news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's sudden death has sent waves of disbelief through the internet, but new revelations are now starting to paint a different, far more disturbing picture. What initially seemed like a tragic accident is now being questioned by those closest to him. While reports suggested a freak incident at a beach in Costa Rica, where Malcolm tragically drowned while vacationing with his family, whispers are circulating that the circumstances may not be as random as they seem. The beach, known for its treacherous waters and powerful undercurrents, was said to have been just as dangerous on the day of his passing. Witnesses reportedly tried to help, and emergency services were quick to arrive, but by the time the Red Cross got there, it was already too late. Authorities quickly dismissed any suspicions of foul play, calling it a terrible accident. But as the public struggled to grasp the enormity of the loss, Malcolm's family was already questioning the official version of events. Sources close to the family claim that there were discrepancies, and behind closed doors, they've been pushing for more answers, convinced that there's something more sinister at play. The first red flag? The complete lack of information coming from a busy public beach. Clay Beach, frequented by tourists and locals alike, should have had dozens of witnesses. Yet, not a single photograph, video, or detailed eyewitness account has emerged. In an age where almost everyone has a camera in hand, especially when a celebrity is involved, the absence of any kind of recording is beyond strange. It's downright suspicious. Fans are beginning to wonder, why is there no trace of what happened? Why was the event so tightly sealed? What's even more troubling is the fact that no lifeguards were on duty at the time of the incident. The Caribbean Guard later cited staffing shortages as the reason, but here's the kicker. The beach had been flagged as dangerous for years. Why, then, was there no one on watch that day? And why weren't there any warning signs posted? Shortly after the tragedy, they claimed to be reallocating resources to this and another dangerous beach, but the timing of these actions is raising even more eyebrows. But the questions don't stop there. The timeline of events surrounding Malcolm's death is filled with inconsistencies. Different reports have conflicting accounts about how long he was in the water, how many people attempted to help, and the precise moment emergency responders arrived. If this was truly just a straightforward accident, why is it so difficult to get a clear and consistent account of what transpired? And then there's the eerie timing of it all. Just 2 days before his death, Malcolm released what would become his final podcast episode, Not All Hood. In this episode, he opened up about his personal journey, survival, and the struggle to rise above societal stereotypes. One line in particular now haunts his fans: "Black survival in itself is black excellence." Now, with these new unsettling revelations, people are left to wonder, was this truly just a freak accident, or was there something far darker at play? The more details come to light, the harder it becomes to believe the official story. And as the mystery continues to unravel, the question on everyone's mind is, what really happened to Malcolm-Jamal Warner?
First time it made me think of black excellence in a different way, right? Like because black excellence now is attributed to fame and money.
Never.
So that's been my issue.
Never for me.
With it. But now when I'm looking into the story, like black survival in and of itself is black excellence.
Because we've always had to supersede, do better, and more things have been put in our way to cross over.
And see, the thing about it, I don't ever look at it as a subset. I look at it as special. Because excellence, white people are mediocre. Always have been. They don't have to try as hard. They don't have to, because somebody else will come clean it up. We've never had that luxury. We've always had to be twice, 10 times as good. So black excellence is better. It's just what it is. We just put black on it because it is. We've had to always be that. We've never, no matter what we've done, and even when we're better than them, they still will find a way to put somebody over us. That's just what it is.
That message resonates in a whole new way now, especially in light of everything that's happened. For many, it feels less like a reflection and more like a farewell, a chilling warning, or perhaps even a final statement that he never intended to be his last, though maybe, deep down, he knew it would be. Regardless, the timing of it all is just too suspicious to overlook, and it's become a crucial piece of the puzzle for those who refuse to accept that this was merely an accident. But what really has people raising eyebrows is the fact that Malcolm wasn't just any celebrity. He was a man who wasn't afraid to speak his truth, especially when it came to race, power, and identity. In the podcast episode I'm about to share, he pulled no punches. He didn't hold back, speaking with raw honesty about the world's treatment of Black people. In another powerful interview, he called out the media for the way it distorts the image of Black men, how society relentlessly tries to categorize and confine them, and the immense struggle it takes to survive in a world that constantly tries to silence their voices.
The media focuses on, and
that we're all one thing.
Yeah, and the whole concept is, we're not all hood. The Black community is not a monolith. There's so many levels and lanes to the Black community, and we wanted to have a space where we could acknowledge, discuss all of those lanes, because they're so varied in terms of our perspectives and our opinions and our ways of life, and we wanted to be able to have a place where we can talk about all of those things, discuss all of those things, and shed light on the not all hood aspects of who we are.
All right, and Candace.
Malcolm's brutal honesty earned him respect, but it also painted a target on his back. Fans are now piecing together disturbing patterns that are hard to ignore. Powerful Black voices, outspoken and unfiltered, suddenly silenced, often under mysterious or questionable circumstances. And with Malcolm's shocking and abrupt exit, it's starting to feel like a tragic echo of something far too familiar. In that same powerful episode, Malcolm called out the media for perpetuating the same tired, one-dimensional hood narrative while completely disregarding the richness and complexity of Black life. He didn't just call it lazy, he said it was downright dangerous. In that snippet, he speaks about how the portrayal of Black trauma and struggle feeds into harmful stereotypes, the same stereotypes that have confined Black communities for generations, trapping them in a cycle that's hard to break.
The name came from our third host, Wayusi Baraka, and the reason for the title is combating the narrative of Black life, Black culture that the media focuses on. And
that we're all one thing.
Yeah, and the whole concept is, we're not all hood.
What truly struck a chord was how Malcolm redefined the very essence of Black excellence. Rather than associating it with fame, wealth, or social status, he boldly stated that merely surviving in a world that constantly seeks to erase you is the true measure of excellence. His exact words, "Black survival in itself is Black excellence," now resonate far more powerfully in the wake of his death, giving the message a much deeper weight than anyone anticipated. The release of Malcolm's final podcast, just 2 days before his untimely death, has sent fans searching for a hidden meaning. For many, it no longer feels like a mere episode. It feels like a declaration, perhaps even a warning. And here's where things take an even darker turn. Rumors are swirling that Malcolm's family doesn't believe his podcast was just a casual recording. Word is that they think he was sending a message, one that wasn't meant just for his listeners but for certain powerful figures who may not have been fond of his words. If this is true, it raises a chilling question. Was Malcolm silenced because he refused to stay quiet? But it doesn't stop there. The complete lack of clear evidence from the scene is only deepening the mystery. If this was indeed a tragic drowning, why is there such a cloud of secrecy surrounding the details? Fans are relentlessly asking, where's the transparency? Who was there? What really happened in those final moments? The plot thickens, as sources claim that Malcolm's family is now considering hiring a private investigator to trace his final steps and uncover the truth that seems to be buried under layers of silence. The family reportedly believes there's something deeply suspicious about the entire situation, and they are not buying the official version of events. What has them even more unsettled is the theory that Malcolm may have already been dead before he even entered the water. Though nothing has been confirmed, some suspect that he could have been injected with a slow-acting poison that only took effect once he reached the beach, explaining how he ended up in the water in the first place. The whole scenario becomes even more chilling when you factor in that his daughter was present at the scene, raising even more questions. Fans are beginning to see a disturbing pattern emerging, one that seems to follow outspoken Black voices who refuse to bow down. For years, there's been talk of how Black figures who challenge the system often face sudden downfalls, career sabotage, or worse. The tragic death of Nipsey Hussle, gunned down while advocating for Black ownership, is one glaring example. Then there's Dave Chappelle, who walked away from a multi-million-dollar deal because he refused to be controlled, and Martin Lawrence, who fans believe was poisoned, triggering a mental breakdown. Back in May 1996, Martin was arrested after being spotted in a busy Sherman Oaks intersection, screaming and waving a firearm, claiming, "They are trying to kill me." The media quickly labeled him as mentally unstable, but the real story, what really triggered his breakdown, remains shrouded in mystery. Fans have long speculated about what might have been truly behind his unraveling. And now, with the unsettling circumstances surrounding Malcolm's death, fans are connecting these dots, seeing a much larger and more sinister pattern forming. Outspoken Black voices, those who challenge the status quo, seem to face a devastating fate whenever they start to gain traction and influence. This doesn't feel like closure. It feels like a warning. And something tells me that this story is only just beginning. Rest in peace, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Drop your thoughts and comments below, and don't forget to check out the next video.